We have a couple more people that want to air their grievances. So I'm going to put you in the back over here. I'm used to a lot of people stealing my catchphrases. Have they perfected them? No, let's not be silly. But I've heard people use them. The bane of my existence. The bane of my existence. How's my microphone, by the way? How you guys like it? The bane of my existence. When I think of someone who started out on this journey as the bane of my existence, yeah, there's Howard Collado, but I'm used to that already. There was another person who strolled around this very land calling himself the Guardian of Chaos. See, the Guardian of Chaos isn't the bane of my existence anymore. I respect the Guardian of Chaos. I respect the GOC. The GOC has always been able to resonate with you, the masses, because we live in an era where style is much more important than substance. But he has given me some substance. He has. He wows over all of his fellow green roomers somehow, because they give in. They give in to the very delightful flavor that's the GOC. They give in to him. You know, dummies like Rich Masadi and Rock Richards. They have their tongue buried up the backside of someone like the GOC, because the GOC, to them, is a hero. But to me, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. He calls himself a jack of all trades, a master at none. What has he done? Nothing. He could fool all of you marks out there with his pictures that he posts. Oh, I managed Yokozuna at some event in 1998. Guardian of Chaos. That's what you are. You're a hack. You've done nothing. You were hired for $50 to appear on Ricky Lake or Jerry Springer to put over the Iron Sheik because he was an attraction on the talk show circuit. But you weren't, GOC. But on the green room? On the green room? You've shed the skin of the phony that you are. You've shed that skin. You've given me something a lot more tangible, something I can sink my teeth into, because you've been up against an absolute psychopath by the name of Pinocchio Joe. And you've tried your best to take this guy out. And you haven't. But he too, in turn, has tried his best to take you out. But he hasn't. The two of you have done everything you could possible to eliminate one another. And it all comes down to one final battle. The two of you have been trying to kill each other. We've seen guns, poison, graves being dug, weapons that were soaked in blood. But what we haven't seen is any of you crumble before all of us. But next Saturday night, one of you will. Because for an unprecedented sixth time in a best of three, the GOC will be facing Pinocchio Joe. One final time. So, GOC, come on down. Because you're not my enemy anymore. I respect you. This is a battle of attrition. And you've won me over. But I also know you have some questions to ask. I don't see Pinocchio Joe in the back. So pray tell, who do you have questions to ask? I have some questions to ask you first. I have some questions to ask you, GOC. Because no longer are you my enemy. You are going to share the screen with me. And let all the jealous folks who are typing and in the back eat it up and watch what a real interview is all about. I'm going to ask you some questions, GOC.
Do you know what the funniest thing about all this is?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
You can talk about everything you want to talk about. I don't care who you mention. You know what all that means to me? You know what that means, Yokozuna, Samoan Dynasty, all that? You know what that means to me, Avi Klein? I'm
a lot more than it means to us. A lot more than it means to us.
That's what I did.
That's what I know.
For life. You don't understand.
No, you didn't do that for life. Hold on. You didn't do that for life. You took a snapshot the way somebody else does when they ask for an autograph so you could use it 22 years later on social media, the way that you do. You duped all of us, GOC. You're a phony and you're a fraud and you're a legend in your own mind.
Klein, I'm going to tell you this, and you're not listening to me. I'm the guardian of chaos because that's what I did for life. Do you understand that? This has nothing to do with the entertainment industry. This has something to do with you people don't understand. I put my life on the line while you were all toiling on independent circuits or in the big time. All you WWE wrestlers, all you screenwriters, all you Hollywood producers, you're all frauds. I walk the walk. I talk the talk.
Right.
I don't give a damn about photos. I don't care about idol worship. You know what I care about, Klein? I put my life on the line for my family, and none of you in Hollywood entertainment, none of you in the green room are watching in the back to carry my jockstrap in life as a man, as I bear my soul and everything here in the dark castle. Don't you get it yet, Klein? All you people sitting in the back, I don't think you understand. I don't care about any of it. So keep asking, Klein. And mutual respect. Okay?
You know what? You're right. I just figured it out. I just had a Eureka kind of a moment, GOC. I just figured it out. Let me tell you what I figured out. Because I just did. Guys, you two watching, you two been out in the professional wrestling business and toiling away in mediocrity for 25 years, and then one day lie about your career on social media. You two could do it just like the GOC. Yeah, you got some hope.
You know what, Klein? Well, God, none of that means anything. You're still, I don't care about any of that. I'm talking about reality.
You do.
I'm talking about darkness.
You don't live in reality.
You know what?
You don't live in reality.
Jealous.
You don't live in reality, Rick.
That I've worked with all those famous people.
Hey, let me show you something.
Hey,
can you read? Check this out.
Are you like Mike Richards?
What does my nameplate say now? I just changed it to Avi Klein. What does yours say, GOC Esquire? Rick what? What's your last name, Rick? What's your last name, Rick?
The Guardian of Chaos.
More pretentious, just in phony.
Dennis and Guardian.
Yes, and you live in reality. Guys and gals, I've got some questions for this gallery. I got questions for you. I don't care why. Rick, I've got some questions for you.
You should care why. Avi, you can call me Rick, you can call me Rick, you can call me Richard. I don't care what you call me because you still don't understand. You don't understand the depths of this man right here. The soul and the body of what you think you work hard. I put my life on the line for my job, Avi Klein. Do you put your life on the job? Do any of you son of bitches in the back put your life on the line? You don't. You don't.
The world does need, I gotta tell you something, Rick. I gotta tell you something, you're right. The world in this country does need a lot more security guards in their high schools. Rick, we need more security guards. We need a lot more.
That's a part-time job.
Because you're a part-time person. Because you're a part-time person. You're a part-time person. You're a part-time person. You're not a full-time anything. That's what you are. You're a part-time person. So let me ask you a question. This green room has done a lot of funky things to a lot of people. But one thing I'll say is that you have embraced the darkness. I know you have. That's obvious. You've gained my respect, Rick. You've gained my respect. But one thing I want to bring up is the fact that you still have a match next Saturday, and I'm going to start asking you questions. Brian Clark says, I thought you had talent, GOC, but never last a minute with a bomber. I would agree with that. Guys and gals, let's ask the GOC. Let me humor him. Let's ask the GOC some questions right now. Question number one, Guardian of Chaos. I'll play your game. I'll play it. Let's break those words up a bit. Guardian, chaos. Guardian, chaos. There's a bridge between both words, but unfortunately for you, GOC, you've never been able to cross over that bridge. GOC, you guard the chaos because you never truly gave into the chaos. Does that have to do with the fact that your failures in life far exceed your accomplishments?
Well, Avi Klein and viewers and fans, I haven't failed at a damn thing in my life. I've walked that edge from lightning bolt to lightning bolt. This is the truth and this is the reality about Rick. This is the reality about the guardian of chaos. I guarded the chaos. Again, Avi Klein. Again, Brian Clark. Again, everybody in the back. You want to sit there and put out comments and talk about things? Let me tell you this. I did it for life. Walk a mile in my damn shoes because I don't think you could. Because the people that you run from when you were in Hollywood, Avi Klein, the people that you were scared
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Right.
Turn over your table. I talked and dealt with them every single damn day of my life, and I did it for my family. What did you do for your family, Klein? What did you do for your family? You let everybody down.
Don't you go there! I'm asking the questions. I'm asking the questions now. Don't you dare go there. I'm asking the questions, TOC. I'm asking the questions. Let's see. Let's see what he has to say right now, because the GOC is trying to bare his soul. I don't think... To bare your soul, you have to have one. So here's the next question. Why are you nothing more? Why are you nothing more than a figment of your own imagination? Rick?
I'm going to bring you back to a story. I went all the way down to the Badlands of Tennessee. And I was looking for someone who had beat someone to death as a multiple different things. And I slept outside of his doors for 5 days. He came home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I went to the back door with a sledgehammer. Now this is reality. You guys want reality? And I smashed the door in. And I ran inside. And there were 3 or 4 little kids there crying. What do you do? What do you do, Rick? What do you do, Chaos? Do you go for the kids and the wife on the bed? Or do you run upstairs where that son of a bitch went that beat someone to death? And when you get to the top of the stairs after you check the kids and the wife, there's 3 bedrooms, Clyde. There's 3 bedrooms. You get 1 shot at this, homeboy. You get 1 shot. Which bedroom do you choose? I chose the right one. And I got the son of a bitch, and I dragged him out, and I threw him in the back of my car, and I chained him up, and I drove over 20 hours all the way back. He shot himself and pissed all over himself until I got him to the courthouse, and it was legal. It was all legal. So you want to talk about entertainment? You want to talk about who's real? You want to talk about pictures of Yokozuna and wrestling? I don't give a damn about any of that. I'm here at the Dark Castle. Do you understand? And the tables are going to turn, Klein. The pendulum's going to swing. The pendulum's going to swing.
And I think it'll start with you actually answering the question. Maybe then the pendulum will swing. Let me ask you a question again. Let's see if you can answer, you moron. Let me ask it again. Why are you nothing more than a figment of your own imagination? Rick?
You didn't listen. How am I a figment of my imagination?
The problem is you talk and nothing comes out of your mouth, Rick.
You're not listening.
I am. That's my problem. My problem is that I am listening. I'm certified because I am listening to you. I shouldn't be listening to you. I lost my marbles trying to make some sense out of you. I should have known better than to try to make some sense out of what comes out of your mouth. Rick, make some sense, because I can't make sense out of nonsense. So try. Answer the question.
This is me. I've given into the Dark Castle. This is who I am. This is who I was in life. This is you. You're still not understanding. Why am I a figment of my imagination? To whom? I've never been a figment of my imagination to anybody. This is the reality of it. Do you understand that yet? Can I make it through that thick skull and all the grease and the Vaseline down your damn ears and the Pennzoil oil and Quaker thing? Why don't you get them for sponsors? Because that's what you have. What do you got to dippity do, Klein? You're not understanding it. You're not getting... I'm frothing at the mouth. This is reality. You wanted Rick? This is Rick, the guardian of chaos, who lived the life. There's no figment of the imagination. You're hung up on this. Let it go, homeboy. Let it go, home stealing, home jacking, home slice, home divot. Let it go, man. Let it go.
GOC, can you prove to me how talented you really are without saying a word for the next 60 seconds? Let's play that game. Bravo. The GOC did prove me wrong. He shut his mouth for a whole minute. I never thought that would happen. If only he could do that backstage as well. Oh, but I can only wish and pray for such things. GOC, another question for you.
You son of a bitch.
2 more questions for you, Esquire. How would it feel seeing Jay Brony's head? And by the way, guys and gals, don't everyone else use that. That's mine, you jerks. Jay Brony's one of your assistants. He's your only assistant. He's your only confidant. We see him on Facebook. Jay Brony, type it in. Speaking on your behalf, how would it feel seeing Jay Brony's head served up on a platter when Pinocchio Joe defeats you next Saturday night, thus eliminating you from the tournament? How would it feel having Jay Brony's head on a platter served to you in the process, Rick?
Well, I'm going to say that to say this because this is what I said with my brothers behind the walls. This is what I said to all the homies in the streets. Jay Brony, you've been my loyal confidant. You've been a warrior. You've been my concierge. But sometimes, Klein, unlike in your business, when in my business, and military fuck out there can relate to this, when your life is on the line, it's all on you, homeboy. If we go back to back, you better take care of yourself. So Jay Brony has been down in the depths. We've been in the clubhouses. We've been in the barrio. We've been behind the walls together. My loyal brother has stopped ass wherever he could. Do you understand that, Klein? So if he can't take care of himself and he has to come to me, that's too damn bad. And if not, only the strongest survive. You understand? So I don't really care. I don't.
My final question, guys and gals, before the main event of tonight's programming continues, as I bestow upon the world David Holiday and Howard Collado. One final question for GOC, because this guy obviously has nothing between his ears. He won't be asking me any questions, because the GOC doesn't want to ask questions. He wants to just answer and talk and talk. So here's my final question unto you, Rick. How would you describe a perfect death? What is a perfect death, GOC?
I've thought about this many times. I've been witness to men who have lost their life right in front of me. Drug overdoses, so on and so forth, all in the line in the protection of society. I've seen many a life lost, and that's why I will always connect with this connection in this country and my military brethren. And there's a lot of you out there right now from behind the walls that are watching, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you were there with me.
I want honesty. Stop playing to a crowd. Stop playing to a cast that doesn't like you. Stop playing to people. Stop trying to impress all of us. Start being honest, because you're lying, and I don't believe you, and you're not a hero. You had a job. Great. You helped people. Awesome. That's not enough to earn my respect. You're just a man who's living in a past that never materialized into anything. So why don't you stop lying and stop performing and start answering my question in a very wholehearted manner? What is a perfect death, GOC?
First off, to be honest, I really don't give a damn what you think right now, Klein.
Yeah,
I'm going to say it live on air for everybody.
I'm going to say live, you're a liar. Yeah, you do.
I don't give a damn.
You do.
Deep down in my soul,
Uh-huh.
I know who I am as a person.
No, you don't.
And the final death for me, what would be the best? Oh, yeah, I do.
You have no idea.
I do.
You don't.
I couldn't walk in your shoes. You know what, Klein? I couldn't walk in your shoes. You're a talented guy. You got it all gone. You got it all going on, kid.
You're right about
you really
that.
do. I'm happy
Yes.
for you. Bravo.
Thank you.
But you couldn't walk and carry my jockstrap in life. When it comes to this, so the perfect death for me, I've thought about it. I've thought about it many, many times what it would be like to be killed. You keep referring to shtick. You keep referring to everything that you don't understand and you don't get it yet. You think that Rick and this Guardian of Chaos, all this is shtick. Learn to know that there's a fine line. So the perfect death for me is if I saw it coming. I want to see it. I'm one step ahead of the Reaper. Research, you can't Google me, you can't find me. You can find out in personal conversations who the damn I am. And this is something that's the truth. You keep alluding to, I'm not this one, I'm not that one, I'm inclined. I don't believe you. I respect you. Don't you understand yet, Abby? And it's going to come back to get you. Wait. We're not finished yet. I'm coming back to get you. When you keep saying you respect me, if you respect me, then believe my damn story and stop questioning who the hell I am. So the perfect death for me would it be on stage somewhere to be in the movies, a Marvel book comic hero, you know what? And then drop dead right there. And this ain't no shtick. This is truth. I haven't been to I've seen it.
Guys and gals, I have to admit, I've seen some pretty horrible auditions before in my time. But this one takes the cake. Bravo, what an audition! Hey, John, are you watching this? What an audition from Rick! Let me keep going here, Rick. Yeah, turn the lights off because you should be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed showing my face after that horrible rendition of an audition that you just gave me. So, hold on a second, Rick. Those words behind me, what do they say? There's 3 words. What are they? What are they? What do they say? The Dark Castle.
Right.
The Dark Castle. And you're here allowing me, a mere mortal.
At the green room on the floor.
You're allowing
You
me
couldn't get the green room on the floor.
You're allowing me to get under your skin? I thought that you were a representative of the Dark Castle. I thought that the green room was something that essentially spoke to you. I thought you had thicker skin. So, Guardian of Chaos, those are my questions. I'm sure you're done, and I think we're done. Am I right?
No, Abby. Everybody, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Nobody right now go anywhere. Boy, the pendulum swings.
Maggie, no problem. Maggie, I'll check out your profile soon because Sally says that I could have a little date with you. Maybe I'll check it out. If you're up to my standards, then maybe I'll give you a little call or a little text. Huh? How about that? But guys and gals, the green room rolls on, hot and heavy. The tournament of '64, a great tournament featuring people from the world of film, music, TV, and sports, are all competing to make it to the second round. Sally Kirkland's the second rounder. She's in round number 2. So's Rich Masadi, David Holly, Miranda. They all earned it. In round number 2, we have other individuals like Martin Cove. People you have not seen yet. John Goodman, Will Dafoe. Round 2 is going to be an epic round, and Sally Kirkland's a part of that. But I digress because not all of the matchups have finished up. Guys and gals, we have right now another matchup that has definitely stood the test of time. Like fine wine, it's gotten progressively better. And by better, I mean it resonates with all of us. I started out as a man that could not stand the GOC. But now I'm a man that respects the GOC. And I also respect Pinocchio Joe. I respect both these men. Because these men have put it all on the line. Psychological warfare. All in the name of making it to the second round. Guys and gals, this is Pinocchio Joe. The time to be defeated is during a game of charades. Pinocchio Joe, a man who's first stepped into the green room without any intent other than making sure that his focus and his objective was clear. Win at all costs. A man who doesn't play games, yet ironically understands what it's like to win. Every time he treats his opponent as nothing more than game. The man can brand individuals like livestock. The man can walk in,
strike fear upon people, understanding fully well that when they deal with Pinocchio Joe, they're not simply dealing with an opponent that wants to make it to the second round and beyond. Yes, he wants to host the Green Room. Yes, he understands that he will be competing, if he advances, with people from the world of film, television, music, sports, music, and pro wrestling. But he also understands that if he doesn't make it personal, if he doesn't get to the heart of the matter, if he doesn't bring the very worst and the very best out of an opponent, there's a lot to be desired. Pinocchio Joe's brought the best out of the GOC, but he also understands that the GOC has now targeted his family. And Pinocchio Joe is a man that wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, regardless of what occurs. Now, when it's become personal, Pinocchio Joe understands that there is no time to be wasted. He's on a mission. Victory is his only objective. He knows that the GOC wants to do everything he can to prevent victory from happening or occurring. Pinocchio Joe and the GOC have met 6 times. There has been poison. There have been gunshots. There have been graves that have been dug with each other's names on it. But now, Pinocchio Joe moves on to one final encounter with the GOC. A man, this narrator, actually believes in as much as he believes in Pinocchio Joe, because these two men have put it all on the line. So, Ruby, Bobby, wherever you are, understand that Pinocchio Joe will be fighting not only for himself, but for all of you as well. The GOC Pinocchio Joe, a match that's lived up to the hype. 3 months later, will we finally find out who the better man is? The answer is next.
Guys and gals, let me bring in Pete from Sharpie right now. Pete, I need you here because I'm going to turn off the well, I'm going to read the comments, but these votes may be null and void because right now, I just want to see if these two can essentially survive. I'm not going to be duped anymore. I know where they've gone. I know where they can continue to go. I want to see exactly what happens, and I want you here with me, Pete.
I'll gladly be here with you.
We don't, I want to say this right now, guys, from the heart. Whatever happens has no reflection or bearing on anything that Pete or Avi Klein promotes, nor does it have any reflection on the Green Room as a whole. Unsanctioned is what this is. A 5th out of a best-of-3 matchup. They've gone the distance and beyond. Guys and gals, this is Pinocchio Joe. What the hell? That's a crowbar. What the hell?
Is that blood?
That's a crowbar and blood. What the hell is that?
What is going on?
What the hell's going on? Joe! Joe!
I think I hear something.
I hear something. Joe! Joe, we could see a crowbar with blood all over it.
Joe, is that your blood?
Joe! I don't know what's going on. What the hell's going on?
I'm not responsible for this.
Joe! Pinocchio! This thing has gone too far, man.
Come on, Joe. Show up, Joe, please.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Neither do I.
Apparently Pinocchio Joe's not here. Guys and gals, this is the GOC.
Every act of creation is first an act of destruction. The GOC. A man who typically would be receiving a mock-type introduction by yours truly. Well, excuse me, not yours truly. A narrator that sounds and reminds everyone of yours truly. But enough of that. I put all humor and shtick to the side and address the situation with sincerity. Because destruction is exactly what we've seen. Carnage is what we've seen run amok as it pertains to the GOC and his opponent, Pinocchio Joe. When this tournament of 64 began, the GOC, Pinocchio Joe, were but mere strangers, unfamiliar with one another. And now here we are, almost 3 months later. Pinocchio Joe and the GOC have made it personal. They've attacked each other's families. They've dug graves. They've poisoned one another. And most recently, they attempted to end one another's life via a blast. They are both recovering, but tonight, it will finally come down to one final match. Whether the GOC is prepared or not, whether the GOC is ready to finally put out a fighter known as Pinocchio Joe. One thing is for certain, the GOC doesn't stand for get out clown anymore. The GOC has lived up to the hype. The GOC has won over this narrative. The GOC has put forth an effort that I can respect. The GOC can take out Pinocchio Joe, but he has to do something he never thought he would be able to do. He has to go through a place of darkness and, dare I say, chaos that he has never experienced before. So as the GOC prepares for a final showdown with Pinocchio Joe, on this, the 6th time that they meet, Pinocchio Joe, a man who always keeps his word, a man who's protecting his family and his identity, be the one who stands tall, or will the GOC get one step closer, turning the green room into nothing more than chaos? Will round 2 be his destiny, or Pinocchio Joe be the one that screams get out of the crowd? We'll find out next.
I'm going to attempt to bring in Pinocchio Joe again.
Please,
I'm going to attempt to bring in Pinocchio Joe again because all I'm looking at is a crowbar and what appears to be blood of some sort. What the hell's going on here? What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
I heard. Is that Joe? Joe, is that you?
Joe? What the hell is that? I'm going to bring in the GOC, guys and gals.
Yeah, please.
I don't see him moving around in the back. I really don't. That's not common. He's a very active human being that is definitely someone who's in motion. He's never really stationary. GOC? Now what the hell is this? What the hell's going on here?
Well, where's the GOC?
What the hell's going on? GOC! What the hell is going on here tonight? I'm looking at a battle axe and a candlestick. GOC! What the hell? What the hell's going on here tonight? GOC!
What is going on?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here right now. This is exactly why I don't condone these matchups. This is exactly why I don't condone anything that happens between GOC, Pinocchio, and Joe. It gets out of hand, and beyond that right now, I don't know if we've talked about this before. Where's it going to go? What else? What are the barriers that they're going to break? I don't even know what's going on anymore other than August 14th is upon us. That's next Saturday. Round 1 will end next Saturday. If GOC and Pinocchio Joe are still lurking around somehow and want to compete, this is unsanctioned at this point. You want to compete?
Yep.
Understand it goes beyond winning a tournament at this point. You want to sell your score, guys and gals, we've got challenges. Look what we got. We got singing. We've got debates. Compete like everybody else. You've taken it too far.
Exactly.
You've taken it too far. I don't know. Guys. What the hell's... I have no idea. I have no idea.
From any of this.
Guys, I don't know, next week, if GOC and Pinocchio Joe show up, they're still officially tied. In the record books, they're still tied 1-1. So if this thing ends, it ends next Saturday. If this thing ends, it ends next Saturday night, August the 14th. We're going to move on, Pete, right now. We're going to move on. We still have another matchup, guys. Real quick. But I'll bring him in a second, guys. Essentially, yes. That's what happened right now, guys. Jamie Sparling. Let's give him his victory speech because he tied things up at 1, which means he's going to send this series into a decisive third matchup next Saturday, August the 14th, the final night of round number 1.
The guy just doesn't belong here. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. And you know what? I just want to thank everybody who voted. And I'm taking him next week. This is done. He's gone.
You better.
Yes. Pete.
Let's bring in David Holiday. Let's not bring in David Holiday just yet, because I see the GOC moving. I see the GOC moving in the back. But David Holiday, guys and gals, is either lost his mind or embracing the darkness. I don't want to speak for him. He'll speak. Nah, man, Taekwon, you're commenting, but you already lost tonight. You will not be the first person to sweep an opponent. It's tied up at 1. The GOC is in the house. Well, is he? I don't really see him, but someone sent me a text, an anonymous text, telling me that he's up and about. I don't see him. I still see this. What the hell? It's that same battle axe.
The hell was that?
There are a few things that shock me. But if either of these two gentlemen make it out alive next Saturday, and I'm talking about the GOC, Pinocchio Joe, that will shock me to my very core. Stephen Lee, we were supposed to bring you in today. We're running a little bit late. I want to hear what you have to say to Pete, Stephen. I think you want to talk to Pete next week. And we're going to make sure we do that, Stephen Lee. But this has been one heck of a show, and we have an outro video to play. But David Holiday has something to say, so I'm going to bring in David Holiday after the outro video. He can actually close this thing out with some of his thoughts. Pete from Sharpie, anything you'd like to say?
I got no words. Oh, what? No. I'm just gonna get more frustrated.
So it's come down to this. One more night. August 14th. Round 1 will come to an end after 3.5 months. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are. What happens at the very end of this is not on me. It's on all of you. You asked for it. You got it.
Guys and gals, whether you choose to stand up and applaud, whether you choose to buckle up for safety, you have to admit that round 1 has left you in a state of awe, as we've seen shocks, twists, turns, surprises, horror, comedy, action, drama. We've seen it all. But now, round number 1 will reach its conclusion. On the next episode of the Green Room's Tournament of 64, round number 1 will officially end with night number 14 on August the 14th, 2021. We've seen it all. We've seen mystery entrants. We've seen surprises. We know that round 2 will feature more mystery entrants that are surprises as well. So buckle up as round 2 is upon us. We still have some unfinished business in round number 1. There are those who are dying for that last spot as the door closes in on them. As they try to squeak into round number 2, there are very few spots remaining as this dark castle is merciless. We've seen it all. Action, horror, comedy, drama. This green room has given us all thrills and chills, suspense, and now it all comes down to this. There are certain matchups yet to be determined, one of which is the Taekwon-Jamie Sparling matchup. A matchup that featured a fan, a super fan of the WWAB who found himself via blackmail in this tournament. He's up against a competitor named Jamie Sparling who knows what it's like to taste defeat. He has been eliminated once before in this first round, and now in this battle of the eliminated, he finds himself with an opportunity to make things right and move on to round number 2. He faces a man who's oblivious to what this green room is. A man who may actually have an oblivious nature be his calling card. Maybe this oblivious nature of what this thing is all about is actually an asset, not a detriment to Taekwon, because he has no idea what's coming up if he does defeat Jamie Sparling. We will know on August 14th. We also know that Pinocchio Joe and the GOC Essentially, we'll be facing each other for the 7th time as they are still deadlocked at 1. Poison, burials, attacks, shootouts, family. There has been nothing that has been deemed out of balance for these two men, as it's merely a time where two people have met circumstantially with one goal in mind. Will they take each other out? Will there be anything left? Will either of these two men move on to round number 2? Because it has become more than just victory. Even though they know that the green room is an opportunity of a lifetime, they also know that they have to eliminate one another. They have to go to the darkest place imaginable in order to survive and thrive and move on to the second round. One will emerge while the other will be defeated on August the 14th. We also know that Mindy the Music Man, a man who represents the darkness, a man who epitomizes the darkness, a man who turned the music lady, once Mindy's ally, against her. Mindy must find the light and somehow vanquish this opponent of hers. For if she is to move on to round number 2, the darling of Texas has to make sure that the light is ever present and the Music Man does not leave her in her wake. We also know that there's still another matchup yet to be determined between a man who has served our country, Eric Herring. Eric Herring, who's done our country proud, can do us proud as well by defeating Hauser Odalak, an enigma, a person who came out of nowhere, a person that somehow has tied up his series with Eric Herring 1-1, despite there being physical challenges on display. Eric Herring knows what it's like to defeat opponents. He knows what it's like to play mind games. He also knows what it's like to compete on a battleground, because he was on a legitimate battleground on soil that protected us on our soil, because that's what Eric Herring is, a true hero, and he can remain a true hero by standing tall and being victorious and defeating Hauser Orlock once and for all on August the 14th. Will that happen? We do not know. Hauser Orlock has proven to be a man that we cannot take for granted. A man that somehow has tied his series up, and now it comes down to one final showdown between these two. And speaking of final showdowns, Michael Winslow, a man who recently was on America's Got Talent, a man who is a legend in the world of film and television, known for being quite the performer on the Police Academy series, Police Academy, the movie franchise, the animated cartoon, and of course, a man who is great on Spaceballs as well. We know that his resume speaks for itself. We also know that he's quite the stand-up comedian and improv performer, and these challenges speak well to him. He wants to vanquish Andrew Cassese, known to us as Wormser from Revenge of the Words 1 and 2. Andrew Cassese can tie the series up at 1. Andrew Cassese may also win by defeating Michael Winslow, because they'll be up against one another twice on August the 14th, not once. And we know that this will be a tall task for Andrew, because Michael Winslow has challenges that speak to him very well. And maybe that's an advantage, maybe it's not. But time will tell whether one of these will move on to round number 2. One of these men who knows what it's like to have the honor and prestige of running this dark castle, they will meet on August the 14th. And guys and gals, we also know that it's come down to this for the Green Room original. Howard Collado, Sharon, and Jarrell. 3 individuals who are quite different, but they have the same intent, the same goal, which is to run the Green Room. Jarrell told the world that he and Ollie go way back, and they had a dream that was never fulfilled as a unit, because Jarrell has a bit of bitterness in his mouth, as he knows that he should be the one that should be considered a Green Room original. And Coach Sharon, someone who is a friend of Ollie Klein's, someone who knows what it's like to compete, someone who tried to bring the best, not the worst, out of Howard Collado, is here as well. And of course, Howard Collado, the man who calls himself a Green Room original, knows what it's like. He's been resilient. He's had a multitude of different opponents, but now it comes down to one final matchup. Will Howard Collado finally move on to round number 2, or will Jarrell or Coach Sharon take their rightful ownership, be able to succeed and thrive, and move on to this second round? Guys and gals, I can tell you that I've been exhausted, depleted, but also excited, because I've never witnessed anything like the first round in this tournament of 64. And I know that night number 1 will end with a bang. So don't you dare miss the finale of round number 1, as we bring to you night number 14, the first round of the tournament of 64, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, August the 14th. Don't miss a second.
People, it's happening. The Green Room. People are disappearing. People are doing things they didn't expect that they would do. You know, I have people come to me and ask me exactly, what is this green room? The truth is, there's no words to really describe it, but I can tell you one thing. I love it.
We have another person who's coming in here right now. I'm not going to say a word. I haven't seen him look like this before. I don't have any kind of remarks or insults that I can use and throw his way because he's earned my respect, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Guys, this is the GOC.
Thank you. Style oh fine, Klein. Night 12 was amazing. But I'm here for one reason. And that's you, Joe. I'm going to expose you. But I realize by doing that, I have to expose myself. I remember on 9/11 when I got clipped. It smelled unbelievable, the burning flesh. I was able to taste my own blood, and I liked it. I've had guns put to my head. I've had knives put to my throat. I've had hits on my life. The blood will be on your hands when your wife, Ruby, your son, Bobby, in case you're wondering, Ruby, in case you're wondering, Bobby, if you're gonna be safe next week, you're gonna find out. The man. The myth. The legend. Whether I show up on August 7th or August 14th. In order to take a man out like a pinocchio, Joe, you have to realize that he's an animal. It takes a man to eliminate an animal like Joe. So it doesn't matter. The guardian of chaos. I will be back. Ruby and Joe. Good night.
Happy? You satisfied with this tournament of 64, Pete?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not responsible for what was going on. The green room, as you like to call it, is the dark castle that brings it onto the competitors.
I don't know why I started this thing on September 12th. We're in too deep now, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We're in too deep.
Everyone can feel and understand, finally, what the dark castle known as the Green Room is all about, as though...
I'm going to announce this match because I think everybody, Pete, has been waiting for it. Guys, as we transition away from the Music Man, the Music Lady, who apparently is under the spell of the Music Man,
and one Mindy McKinney red, this is our main event right now. And there is still somebody I want to talk to after this main event. He's in the back. I promised I want to have a conversation with somebody. He's in the back. But guys and gals, I implore you to stick around for a feud that is seemingly never going to end. Whether it's on or off the green room, I don't think this thing is going to end. I want to talk to some people in the back. Davis, hang around. Once I see Howard, I'm going to talk to Howard as well. I'm going to talk to Rock Richards. I'm going to talk to Rich Masadi first. Rich, we have Pinocchio Joe and the GOC. This is a match everybody's been essentially waiting for a while. Why does this intrigue you?
I tell you, really unique tactics, really some shady stuff going on, and I've been back and forth on who I'd want to see advance. But these guys are cutthroat. I mean, they're really
You've
looking
seen a lot of that. I mean, what about this? Heightens your senses even more.
Because these guys want to like kill each other. I couldn't see Pinocchio Joe hosting a show, but he wants to kill this man.
Sure.
And vice versa.
Do you have any sort of favorite that you're leaning to? You're in this competition, of course, it's every man and woman for themselves. Are you leaning towards somebody?
Originally I was. I'm not so sure anymore. I was a fan of The Guardian. I don't know. Something about Pinocchio Joe's... Something about his resolve this last week or two has got me on the fence.
It's got you on the fence, okay. I'm going to put Rich Masadi in the back. Rich, again, hey, if nothing else, you've left quite the impact, my friend. You are making an impact. And that is Rich Masadi, guys. Rock Richards, I know you don't have a dog in the fight here either, but your take on this main event coming up right now.
When you look at this matchup, it almost makes you think about, like, comic book characters. You have a man who's made of steel fighting a man that's made of mist that you can't grab. With GOC, you got a man who never shuts up. And with Pinocchio Joe, you have a guy that never really talks. I personally have a little score to settle with GOC, some past happenings. So there's a part of me that is rooting for GOC just for that. Just for that reason.
Sense. Yeah, Rock Richards, guys and gals, seemingly, and I like his attitude. He wants them all in the second round. That's the right attitude to have. I can't talk to Mindy because she's flustered in the back. The Music Man definitely affected her. Can't bring her in. I do want to ask if he's backstage, Davis Jubilee, what he thinks of this match.
Well, it's a very interesting match, Miss Klein. It's hard to trust a man who won't show his face. Very, very mysterious. Obviously, an outdoorsman. GOC is entertaining, makes people laugh, but talks a lot. Talks a lot. Can he back it up? No. I'll be interested to see.
Gus Anselmo, I see you. You're saying your pick is still the GOC, okay? Guys, let us know. Joel Bateman, GOC, great talker. But guys, they've talked me out of my comfort zone. I'm going to say that again. Maybe that's not a sentence you've ever heard from me. They've talked me out of my comfort zone. Just like Mindy and the Music Man, this has become more than just a series that is tied 1-1. These two men are going at it with one another. I can see them both in the back, and I'm already getting goosebumps and chills, because if you've watched the GOC and Pinocchio Joe, you were treated for an epic. You really were. I know that word gets used often, but trust me when I say the GOC and Pinocchio Joe is must-see TV. You don't want to miss this, because it's become personal. Poisoning each other, trying to poison each other, digging each other's graves. Last week there was some technical snafus. Of course, that no good GOC, get out clown. He was responsible for that, but I will give the GOC some credit right now. I'm sure his buddy Jay Brony will let him know if he survives this tonight. He'll let him know when he does his review show that this is the part where he can mention that Avi's got some respect for him. I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for. He's got a big mouth. I don't like people with big mouths who talk a lot. But I respect the guy wholeheartedly. I respect what this match has become. So guys, without any further ado, in case you need a reminder, which you don't, the first competitor that I'm going to right now bring up in this promo package that will remind you who essentially he is one Pinocchio Joe.
Abraham Lincoln said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Pinocchio Joe, a man who definitely has been sharpening his axe, a man who's definitely been sharpening his chainsaws, plural,
a man who's been sharpening his sword, and a man that has been sharpening his skill set. Pinocchio Joe doesn't leave anything to chance. He understands that winning doesn't occur just through osmosis. He understands that victory has to do with intimidating and eradicating anything or anyone that gets in his way. And of course I'm talking about his opponent, the GOC. A man who stepped into the green room first as an attorney trying to represent Howard Collado. It was par for the course for the GOC to fail and fall flat on his face, as he will tonight, by the way. I'm remaining unbiased, but I'm also speaking facts, because Pinocchio Joe will defeat the GOC. They are meeting for a fourth and unprecedented time, and Pinocchio Joe has recently told us a bit about what he's left behind. His family, his friends, his identity, all for the goal and the right to host a star-studded program every Saturday night called the Green Room. And that's what the Tournament of 64 is. Pinocchio Joe knows that he can rub shoulders with those from the world of film, TV, music, sports, and pro wrestling if he gets past the GOC. If should actually be described as when, because it's only a matter of time. And the clock has been ticking down. And while the GOC has been counting the last hours of his life, he understands that he too has a chance at glory. But glory comes with a price. And Pinocchio Joe is willing to make that price. He's willing to pay. And he's also willing to make sure that he will go to any lengths, whether it's trying to poison the GOC, whether it's trying to put him in a grave. We have seen Pinocchio Joe attempt to do it all. The last thing Pinocchio Joe needs to do is underestimate his opponent. The sneaky, cunning, deceitful GOC might have a loyal contingent of fans. What he doesn't have is a chance, an opportunity to defeat Pinocchio Joe, because it just won't happen. Joe, as I implored David Holiday to do many weeks ago, get the job done. Get the job done. Move on to round number 2 and eliminate the GOC any way you see fit.
In a world where you shouldn't believe the hype, this is the exception, because this is the main event of night number 11. I welcomed you, a man who's gonna go over to round number 2. Why? Because talk is cheap, and he backs everything up by action. And I guarantee you he's gonna take out the GOC when it's all said and done tonight, right now. Welcome, the one and only Pinocchio Joe.
Hello, Avi.
Hello.
Hopefully our little stooge didn't mess with my stuff this week.
Oh, music to my ears. You sound great, Joe, because you got that hint of stuff. Yeah, optimism. You know, he's got sarcasm. You got optimism. Ism. He's got the sarcasm. You got the optimism. I know you're going to take him out. I know you want me to shut up. You know, at the end of the day, I don't like a guy who talks fast. I don't like a guy who just talks and spews out useless information. I don't like that. The GOC is going to be persona non grata when it's all said and done tonight. Am I right?
You are correct.
Guys and gals, without further ado, because you've been waiting for it, in case you need a reminder of who the GOC is, I always say this, and I always will. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and a video is worth 1,000,000. Oh, the GOC, you probably expected me to hit you with a hate-laced voiceover that chronicles how you are nothing more than the residuals of toe jam that haven't been completely scraped off. You expected this narrator to give you an unbiased rendition of why you don't deserve to even be in this Tournament of 64, which features those from the world of film, television, music, sports, and pro wrestling. The GOC expects his voiceover to be very, very bitter and laced with a lot of venom and hate towards him. But what the GOC doesn't understand is that this voiceover actually enjoys clowns. This voiceover understands that the purpose of a clown is to make others laugh, and the GOC doesn't understand. And he's accomplished his objective already.
Whether he moves on to round number 2, which assuredly he won't, what he fails to realize is that he's already accomplished his mission. He's allowed the masses to laugh, and that's all the GOC will ever do. They'll make us laugh because he actually wants us to believe in him as a competitor. The GOC is facing a real competitor tonight. For an unprecedented 4th time, Pinocchio Joe. He's facing a man in the form of Pinocchio Joe that understands what it's like to roll up his sleeves and get his arms dirty, and he understands what it's like to make sure he takes care of this competition. The GOC can muck it up for the best of them. The GOC does not have what it takes. He doesn't have the killer instinct. He doesn't have a chance, and he will not move on. You're seeing history in the making because even this narrator can admit that the GOC is resilient, and the GOC finds himself in a situation where, just like Pinocchio Joe about a month back, he's recovering. They tried to outwit one another. These two men tried poisoning one another. These two men were essentially digging graves. These two men have been talking to their associates about doing more harm to the other. And these two men understand what's at stake. They have epitomized everything that the Green Room stands for. When you enter this dark castle, you either give in to the very energy and life source that it represents, or you get out, clown. Get out, clown. History in the making. 4th, unprecedented matchup. Everyone from the world of Hollywood, from the world of film and TV and sports and music have been inquiring and asking this very narrator, what will happen when the GOC and Pinocchio Joe meet for the 4th time? How can they top what we witnessed a month ago from these two men? The answer is upon us. I don't know what the future brings, but who cares about the future? The present is the main event of the night. Pinocchio Joe and the GOC. One finally will advance to the 2nd round, while the other will become nothing more than a memory.
Usually you see me or expecting me right now to chant out, "Get out, clown." But I give him respect because he's here. I give him respect because he seems like he's not giving us his usual high-energy rendition. I think Pinocchio Joe and the GOC both are ready for battle. So with that being said, guys, the GOC.
You know what, Klein? How could you possibly say that you're unbiased? All you did in that opening promo and video
This isn't about me. GOC, this isn't about me.
It is about you with that video because you started it with that video. You're trying to get in my head. And you know what, Pinocchio Joe? I don't even know how you're live right now. I'm not admitting and copping to anything.
So is this what we're doing? Hold on a second. Hold on, GOC. Hold on a second. Is this what we're doing? Because last I checked, there's no guys, I'm sorry, there's no cure. There's no vaccine against stupidity. I understand that. There's no vaccine against stupidity. You epitomize that. You're the reason the gene pool needs a lifeguard. We understand that as well. But the GOC, this isn't about me. This right now is about you and Pinocchio Joe. You can give me that face all you want. Hold on a second. I'd ask you how old you are because you're acting like a child, but you can't count that high. So hold on. Enough of the shtick. Enough of the riffraff. I want to let everyone know that this is not going to end well. That's just my gut feeling. GOC, tone it down. I want you to take in this moment, GOC, because you've got a strong fan base. God knows why, but you do. When this thing ends tonight, you will never grace this screen again. When this thing ends tonight, you're going to end, GOC. And I may not ever be getting a chance to ever say this to you again face to face, so I'll do it over a computer screen right now. I never had anything personal against you. And I promise you that when it's all said and done, when Joe puts you wherever he wants to put you, and we know where that is, I will pay my respects to you, GOC. No, I won't. I just stopped.
I have nothing to say to you, Klein. I got nothing to say to you.
No, I won't. No, I won't.
Get out.
No, I won't.
Get out.
Guys and gals, I do want to say this, though. This has been nothing short of a war, so let's start off with the first challenge. Is the winner tonight will advance to round number 2. And this has all been about round number 2 tonight. There has never been a green room that has epitomized what round 2 is going to look like. Mark Henry, Martin Cove, who advanced. I didn't announce that, but he won his challenge against Kerry. So he's in round 2. The winner's circle, guys. One of these men will be in the winner's circle, literally. And one may not be around here to breathe anymore. That's exactly right. So let's start off with our first challenge, guys. And you, all of you watching now live, and there's a ton of you that are watching, can vote after each challenge. Your votes count. You can send one of these 2 competitors home. You can send one of these 2 competitors packing up as they move on to round number 2. Promos. Promos. We have some promos over here, guys and gals. We have some promos. Pinocchio Joe and the GOC, very capable. Promo men, stick men, if you will. Jason, I see you over here. I see you here, Jamie. I see you here, Zachary. I see you here, Tammy. You guys cannot wait. Neither can I. The promo. So we'll start off with the GOC. GOC, you're going to cut a promo letting the audience know why this heated situation with Pinocchio Joe didn't have to be this way. You're going to let the audience know why this heated situation with Joe didn't have to be this way, and you will bring up certain traits of Pinocchio Joe that you respect and that you admire. But you're going to incorporate the following words, GOC, and I want Pinocchio Joe to get a pen and paper so he can write down his words for his promo. GOC, you can take your time to write these words down.
Alrighty, Klein.
You can use the words revenge. You will use the word respect. You will use the word submission. And you will use the word torture. I'm going to repeat it again. GOC is going to cut a promo letting all of you, the masses, know why this heated situation with Joe did not have to end up being this way. And GOC will bring up certain traits of Joe that he respects and admires. But he's going to have to incorporate the following words: revenge, respect, submission, and torture. Take it away, promo man GOC.
Pinocchio Joe, it didn't have to be this way. You know that, right, big man? You know that I respect you. You know that now it has to come down to nothing but revenge for the guardian of chaos. What I will do to you, I am going to punish you into submission, Pinocchio Joe, and then the torture that you will feel, even the fans will understand the pain that I bring to you, Pinocchio Joe. It's gone on way too far. Way, way too far. And tonight, history in the making.
Guys and gals, that was the GOC. Look, Pinocchio Joe. Already, I like the mind games because Pinocchio Joe. Let me tell you something, GOC. You went up first. That's an easy task. Joe's sitting there waiting, cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't mind. He's going to shut you up now because, Joe, here's your promo. Joe, you're going to cut a promo letting the audience know why this heated situation with GOC didn't have to be this way. You will bring up certain traits of GOC that you respect and admire, but you will incorporate the following words in your promo, Pinocchio Joe: chaos, rage, family, resolution. I'll repeat the words: chaos, rage, family, and resolution. Take it away whenever you're ready, Mr. Joe.
So, Mr. Guardian of Chaos, or as Avi Klein would say, get out, clown. You have personally insulted my family. And I don't take light of that. There is a rage that burns inside you, but guess what? Your rage and fire are getting extinguished tonight. The candle is going out.
Guys and
I
gals,
don't find that funny at all.
I can't wait to see the candle going out. GOC, I know that you didn't mean to say what you just did because you understand the severity of the situation, don't you? You understand how serious this is, don't you? So let me give you another promo, Mr. Stickman. Guys, if you don't know what that means, Mr. Stickman, the GOC, claims to have the gift of gab. I don't think he does. So we're going to give him another promo. GOC, you're going to cut a promo and get your pen and paper ready. But GOC, you're going to cut a promo. I'm sorry. We're going to have to get as personal as we have and even top that because this is our third and final matchup between these two. Actually, our fourth matchup between these two. GOC, you will cut a promo on Pinocchio Joe's wife, Ruby, and his son, Bobby. We heard about them in his videos recently. You will implore them to move on. GOC, you will implore them to move on with their lives and forget about Pinocchio Joe. You will finally explain to them why destroying Pinocchio Joe physically, mentally, and emotionally didn't prove to be enough for you. His life is what you're after. It goes beyond competition, GOC. It goes beyond anything logical. It's deeper than that. Make sure that Ruby and Bobby know that they're safe, even though their beloved Joe is not safe. And incorporate the following words. Necessity. Purpose. All four, guys. Necessity. Purpose. Goal. Conclusion. Necessity. Purpose. Goal. And conclusion. Take it away, GOC.
Well, for everyone that's listening out there, Pinocchio Joe was the one who brought up his family. He was the one that fired the first shots. I didn't want to involve family when you brought up Ruby, your wife, and Bobby, your son. That was the perfect ammunition that you gave me, Pinocchio Joe. And Ruby and Bobby, I know you're watching right now. You will be the collateral damage. Move on. Get about Pinocchio Joe. Because you know what? It's a necessity. It's my purpose. It's my goal that this comes to a conclusion tonight for this unpredictable, unprecedented fourth matchup. Joe, I didn't want to do this. Bobby, Ruby, I'm not going anywhere.
Our final promo will be delivered to Joe. Joe, you will cut a promo not on Pinocchio. I'm sorry, you will cut a promo not on the GOC. A lot of people are expecting that to happen, but it's not going to happen. You are going to cut a promo, Pinocchio Joe, on Jay Brony. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, why
Yeah.
do you have to come into it?
And I want to tell you the rest. Guys, he's the GOC's top henchman. His name is Jay Brony. Pinocchio Joe, you will explain why Jay Brony is wasting his time working in Camp GOC. And you will bring up the fact that you have a position open for Jay Brony that he can fill, working for you. Joe, you will explain what makes you a better employer than GOC and how it would be advantageous for one Jay Brony to leave the GOC's employ and join your family instead. And you can incorporate the following words, Joe. Loyalty, professionalism, reward, and dominance. Loyalty, professionalism, reward, and dominance. Take it away, Mr. Joe.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Jay Brony, also known as the Little Stooge. You're the Little Stooge. You post nothing on any of this. Jay Brony does your talking for you all the time, all the time, all the time. I've never ever heard anything from you except on your stupid promos. Yak. Well, I think Mr. Jay Brony might be a little better off working for me. I do have a position open. I move on to the next round. There's bigger and badder people out there than you. And I will prove my loyalty to him if he decides to come by me. He will will be rewarded immensely. I have many sources out there that could reward monetarily. There's plenty of jobs out there. I have connections. Everybody is looking for someone's dominance to take care of their trash, just like I am taking care of you, my trash. And with the utmost professionalism, I admire what you have done, but the time is over. Your time is over. 20 feet down, never to be seen again. To your grave, you've seen it. We'll be heading there shortly.
Guys and gals, those are not mere words. No. Pinocchio Joe is merely reminding all of you, in case you're wondering what will happen to the GOC, well, Pinocchio Joe just gave you a story, and it's rooted in reality. The GOC will be no more. So guys, now you can vote, but before you do, actually keep voting in. Pete, the promo challenge is over. Pete from Sharpie, who wins it and why?
Well, I can tell you this. These two, I know they're competing in the tournament, but I legit think they really hate each other.
You think? Yeah.
They want to physically hurt each other.
Yeah.
But as for the challenge, the words flew great, and my vote was for Pinocchio Joe, because I think Jay Brony might actually go work for Pinocchio Joe.
Guys, I love that. That's Pete from Sharpie. Laying down the law. Hold on a second, guys and gals. That is the one and only Pete from Sharpie. I'm looking at all the votes. Look at this. We got Joe. Look at this. Brock goes Joe. Tammy goes Joe. Emma goes Joe. Rich goes Joe. Paul Roma. Hey, look, Joe. You see Joe? I see Joe's name there. We got Joe. Joe, we're going to get a sweep. Joe. Bruce goes Joe. Robert Arrowwood. Look at that right there. Pinocchio Joe. You put up Pinocchio there as well. He's being very detail-oriented. We love that, Robert Arrowwood. We got Joe. Z's to you. I'm sorry. We have to snooze. I'm sorry. We all have to snooze when GOC was trying to entertain the masses. That's what he does. The guy is Zachary Cribb, Joe. Jamie Sparling, Joe. Guys, it's a sweep. I don't even have to vote, but I will. Hold on. Give me a second here. Hold on.
Avi, you can't read. Can't go off your head. He just said you can't read. It's fraudulent. You're doing it to me again like you did on the first 3 nights with the 1-0 contest. I don't understand what you're doing, Avi Klein. It's crystal clear. Who won that challenge? It's Pete. I'm not going to forget that, Pete.
My vote goes for Joe! Pinocchio Joe wins the promo challenge, guys. So now, the GOC has to win. Hold on, let me explain the rules so they understand, GOC. Let me explain the rules. And you could grieve, you could just do it quietly, even though I don't think that's a foreign concept to you to do anything quiet. But guys, our next challenge, if GOC loses the next challenge, he will be eliminated in more ways than one, Joe. In more ways than one, while you move on to round 2. Now, if GOC somehow musters up a victory in this next challenge, we'll have a third one. But let's see what happens. This is our next challenge.
There it is.
Our fine people from WAB Q&A. There will be questions asked and posed unto GOC and unto... Look at the masses. No, it's not over just yet, Zachary. It's not over yet. It's not over. Guys, this is our first question, and I think it's for the GOC. Kimberly. Kimberly asked GOC the following. GOC, if you eliminate Pinocchio Joe, do you think your second round opponent might present an easier challenge considering what you've had to endure in this first round?
The most ignorant question a fan could ever ask.
Unreal. Don't you insult our viewers.
Watching. I don't know what they're doing out there. I can't think about the second round or who's going to be tougher when I got that slug on hot pavement looking at me. He won't even reveal himself. Avi Klein, I don't care about the question and answer period. I'm not going to answer it because I'm only thinking about him. I don't care about the second round yet. I have
DQ! Disqualified! Disqualification! Hold on, if you don't answer, we disqualify Pete. Can we disqualify? He's got to answer, right, Pete? He's got to answer the question, right? Am I right?
You got to answer it.
You got to answer the question.
I'll answer the question.
Kimberly, address her by name. Our viewers want to be addressed by their name. Kimberly.
I'll address her by name. Give me the question, Mr. Klein.
The GOC spends too much time listening, but God gave us 2 ears, not 2 mouths. So I'll give it to you again. If you eliminate Pinocchio Joe, do you think your second round opponent might present an easier challenge? Considering what you have had to endure in this first round, that's from Kimberly.
All right, I want to address Kimberly. Kimberly, thank you for sending your question in. It's very riveting. It's it's not a softball question. I know you're trying to get to the inside, Kimberly, with your question. I want to answer honestly. I don't think I can have an easier opponent in the second round because I hate to admit this and I hate to say this. Pinocchio Joe is taking me to the limits, and I don't like it. So there's the answer, Kimberly.
There you go. There you go. So GOC gave us a very, very mundane answer without any depth. Because he has no depth, guys. He has no soul. He has no soul. Pinocchio Joe has a lot of soul. Pinocchio, Lucinda is asking Pinocchio the following question. Mr. Joe, do you feel, Mr. Joe, as if the GOC has brought out the worst or the best in you during this fierce competition? Please explain.
I'd have to say he's probably brought out the worst. I mean, it can get a lot better, but he was a tougher opponent than what I thought. I had to dig deep into my big tricks a little deeper.
Yep.
But there was some violent promos that produced, and I just felt I had to go that far, and not something I wanted to do. I thought it could have been done a little more peacefully. But when a guy's got to keep up to the GOC, you got to dig deep.
I like that. I like that, guys and gals. Again, Joe doesn't mince words. Hits me right here, man. That's who GOC. Guys, you got to understand something. These two men are definitely opposites. You have one loudmouth in the form of GOC, and you've got a guy that doesn't mince words in Pinocchio Joe, who keeps it straight, tells it like it is. And
I can't even understand his words.
This is a question. Look who this is from. This is for the GOC. Guys, this is a question that comes from one Moses Klein. Moses Klein. Moses Klein is asking a question. Moses Klein. Moses Klein. Yeah, Moses Klein. Moses Klein wants to know the following. We found out that Pinocchio Joe has a family, a wife named Ruby, and a son named Bobby. GOC, you mentioned that you wouldn't go after his family if you end up defeating Joe. How are we supposed to believe that? Convince me in the green room faithful that you will leave the GOC's family alone. That's from one Moses Klein.
Well, Moses Klein, thank you for entering the fray here in your question and answer. I never brought in Ruby and Bobby fans, viewers, competitors, Pinocchio Joe, you two. I never got them involved. You fired their first shot. You mentioned your family. Listen, from where I come from the bowels of the earth, family is off limits unless somebody crosses that line. I didn't cross that line, Pinocchio Joe. Viewers, Moses, I didn't cross that line. You brought your family into it, and now they will reap the repercussions of it, Pinocchio Joe. That's the question, Moses. That's what you asked me. That's what I answered. I didn't want to involve family. He did.
Guys, don't believe anything that moron just said. I'm going to quote Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny. Everything that idiot said is a lie. Guys, Pinocchio Joe...
Come on.
And I'm sorry. Joe Pesci was sleeping when he said that, and I guess I kind of was too when you were talking. Guys, this is our last question, I believe. I want this answered thoroughly. After this question gets answered... No, actually, we have two more questions. No, we have one more. After this question gets answered thoroughly, I will have to hydrate myself. After this question. After. I want it answered first. Alan asks Pinocchio Joe the following. I've witnessed, Joe, a lot of mind games from the two of you. Joe, would you say that ending the GOC's life takes precedence over winning the entire star-studded tournament of 64? That's from Alan.
I entered this tournament not to take anybody's life. I entered this tournament to go for the top spot, become the host of the green room. That does take precedent for me. If someone gets in the way, and I know he knows from my history, I do take him home. But that is not my top priority here. My top priority is getting to the host chair of the green room. That's enough for you.
Guys and gals, I totally agree with you there. So this is, I see your comments. Hold on, this is a great response from Moses Klein. Pinocchio Joe, and I just want to ask this from our viewers live. Pinocchio Joe, thank you for always being so honest with us, because we know that you've been tracking down filth like the GOC your entire life. Thank you for still making the time for all of us. That's from Moses Klein, Pinocchio Joe.
Thank you, Moses. Appreciate it.
Yep. Guys and gals,
Forget that, Moses.
at this particular point in time, guys and gals, I can't do the show for 3 hours without hydrating myself. So give me a second. Who put lemonade in this cup? I didn't ask for lemonade.
What the heck was that on here?
Water with lemonade?
What? Joe? Joe?
Should have
Joe? 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 Joe's out. Joe's knocked out. Joe? I'm gonna put Joe in the back. He's knocked out. He's not even on camp. GOC? GOC! GOC! I can't see you. Let me see that wound. I can't see you. I can't see you. Let me see that. Hold on a second, GOC.
I should have known. I should have known.
Oh my God.
I should have known.
God, he's bleeding. GOC!
I should have known.
I'm putting him in the back, guys. I'm putting him in the back. I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch this. Pete. You know, I'm tired of this tournament, man. Pete, I'm tired of this tournament already, man. It wasn't supposed to be like this when you hit the reset button. What the hell's going on? We've got lunatics like the Music Man? Now this is what we're signing up for? People shooting each other? This is what you caused, man. You caused all this, Pete.
I caused this?
Yeah.
The tournament caused this. This wasn't my doing. This is what competition does to people. And I don't know what happened.
I see Pinocchio Joe squirming in the back. I'm not going to pull him in just yet, but I see him squirming in the back because I need to find out what the hell just happened. I see him squirming in the back. I see GOC moving around in the back.
Yeah,
I don't know, guys. William Wilson, I don't know what happened. Get this guy some help is right, Jamie Sparling. Yeah, Tammy, I didn't sign up for this. This is only the beginning, Eric. I don't know what that means, guys. I'm gonna pull in the GOC, Pete, because I see his fingers. I see his fingers move. Guys, the GOC's back in the... Those are his hands.
Are you okay?
Not this time, Joe! Not this time, Joe! Not this time!
I just put GOC in the back, guys. He's rambling incoherently. He said, "Not this time, Joe." This isn't a laughing matter, guys. I didn't sign up for this. I agree, Tammy. Joe? Joe's squirming around? Guys, this is Pinocchio Joe. Joe? Joe, are you okay?
Joe, can you say something?
Oh, I never thought he would sleep. GOC, once again, you did not get the job done. Coming for you.
Joe! He's coming for the GOC and he's laughing. Joe! We lost transmission, guys.
It's not over.
That's all you have to say? We got Pinocchio Joe saying it's not over? That he's coming for the GOC because he didn't get the job done, and GOC is still kicking around there as well? How am I supposed to move on? I gotta talk to somebody right now in the back. Yeah, I see the guy in the back I'm gonna talk to right now. I got some questions for him too. About something else that happened last week, but you're condoning this, huh? You seem to have... I don't know what it is, man. You know, I'm starting to find out there's some ice blood flowing through your veins, man. You don't seem to care too much, do you?
That's not true. I care. For the entertainment value.
Guys, I'm gonna bring in Joe and GOC back if I don't lose transmission in about maybe 10 minutes. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna bring them back just to see if I can get them back to have a word with them about what the hell just happened. Who are the assailants? Did they notice who shot them? I don't know. I can only speculate that Jay Brony had something to do. I don't know what's going on.
I want to see for myself as well.
Pete's gonna go to the back right now, guys and gals, and you know what? As I change my green screen around, I'm gonna go solo. I'm gonna go original here. This is the old green room logo, and I think this is where we need to, because Jason, bad idea, Joe, the GOC and Jay Brony have powerful friends. Well, they both were shot. They both were shot. I want to bring in... Yeah, I see you in the back. Guys, I need to move. I gotta clear my head. I want to talk to somebody who last week betrayed me, all right? And that's not shtick. This guy betrayed the hell out of me. I don't know why he appeared and voted the way that he did. Guys, I just want to tell you something right now, all right? Like, if you think for 1 second that there have been controversial endings to matches, all you needed to have done was watch last week's show